Wages for working families, in fact, over the last couple months have gone up. These wage increases are larger than the increase in inflation during that same period of time. And so we're in a position now where things are moving. They're moving in the right direction.
Boy, that's a whole bunch of disingenuousness right there. Joe Biden this morning, after the Labor Department issued its jobs report, Americans' wages are up only 5% annually versus consumer inflation that's still holding around 8%. So really, real wages are negative, still negative. And the 3.7 unemployment rate doesn't reflect discouraged workers who've simply dropped out. 263,000 jobs added to the economy is the worst reading for the entire year. 6 million people remain unemployed. For more on this, let's bring in the host of Trish Regan Show and editor-in-chief of TrishIntel.com, the great Trish Regan. Hey, lady, great to see you as always. You know, real wages are in decline and the job growth is at its lowest level of the entire year. Where do you see the job market going in 2023?
Look, I think it's going to get a lot worse. Chris, I mean, the Fed is on a trajectory of higher rates. And don't forget, it takes like 6 to 9 months for any of this Federal Reserve policy to really catch up, if you would, with the overall economy. So the reality of that is we haven't seen the worst of it in any way, shape, or form. We've seen a lot of tech companies recently laying off. I would anticipate you're going to see more of that. I think there's going to be slowing. I don't think that there's a way around it. They should have figured this out a long time ago. But, you know, Joe Biden ought to know that real wages are not actually higher right now, that people are actually feeling the effects of inflation, no matter how he tries to spin it.
Yes, I think he does know. Speaking of Biden, he signed legislation to force railway union workers back to work after they rejected a previous deal. Trish, I want you to comment on a couple of things. First, did the unions get greedy here by trying to change an agreed deal at the last minute so they could get more stuff? And doesn't this show Americans how dangerous it is to rely on unions in key areas? And secondly, isn't this problematic for Democrats who just forced the unions to take a deal that they rejected?
Yeah, look, you know I'm no fan of unions. I don't think that you are ever going to get the real market value for labor with unions. I think, unfortunately, there was a time, by the way, I should be clear, there was a time and a place in history when they were very much needed. But unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, those days are over. So I think they do a lot of harm, not to mention a lot of political donations that really aren't good for the overall American worker right now. But what's amazing to me is, gosh, you know, if you're a Democrat, this really stinks. Because guess what? That was your platform. You were all about the American worker and unions, 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 right? And now you got Joe Biden saying, tough luck. You guys got to sign this, even if you're not getting enough vacation pay, even if you're not getting enough flexibility, you got to sign it. And so I'm like, well, wait a second. Yep. What happened to the guy's mantra? What happened to his entire platform?
I know, you folks out there in the unions, we've been trying to tell you, but you voted for these folks, and look what they did. The first opportunity these Democrats got, you know, gave you the shaft. Apple's CEO, speaking of getting the shaft, Tim Cook, he was in a talkative mood after he gave the shaft to those over there opposing communist China. He actually helped silence the dissent over there. We established that companies who are still doing business with China, they're crazy. But is Cook a coward, or is he just trying to save his company from folding?
Oh, it's a huge market, right? And this is where all this stuff gets so complicated. And while I'm such a big believer in free markets, sometimes this is where government has to come in and say, you know what? Somebody's got to be the adult in the room. It's not all about money. It's not all about market share. And when it comes to China, we have other concerns. Thus, we need to put freedom first, Americans first, and the people over there all around the world that really can't stick up for themselves in the way that they need to. In fact, in this case, they can't even communicate the way that they need to. And Apple should know better. But if they don't, Joe Biden should know better, and our State Department should know better. And they should say, okay, guys, we know you want to make money. We know the shareholders want it. But sometimes you got to do what's right for the world.
Yep. If you're a real American, you don't support stifling free speech and enabling a communist regime to slaughter people. You just Don't do that. Trish Regan, thank you very much. Appreciate the time.